going to take a look at a wave that I've found. I'm going to put a little disclaimer on this. I don't suggest this for competition simply because you're going to be losing points on the way. But a lot of times when I'm rolling with people that are stronger than me, that are more athletic, whatever, guys that I'm just having a hard time escaping their side control. I've come up with a little way, especially with some physical limitations that I have with back injuries and whatever, found a way to get back to half guard without having to escape the side control. Again, don't necessarily recommend it for competition because you're going to lose some points doing this, but I do it on a very regular basis in training and seem to have pretty good results with it. So, Ramonte and I train a lot together, and Ramonte has a very, very good side control. And I find myself having a very hard time at ever getting my knee in here. And if I ever do get my knee in here, I've found that Ramonte always has a way to block it and go around it. And so Ramonte gives me fits trying to get out of his side control. Meanwhile, he's working submissions. And one of the things that I've noticed that guys do a lot is they push my hips away from me. So now it's all but impossible to get back to half guard. Well, one of the things that I've found that I can do is actually go away from him and even shrimp toward him if I have to. Now this seems completely counterintuitive, I realize that. Notice that I still have this under here. I'm not saying totally roll over and give your back. That's not the idea here. I'm saying if we are in side control, scooting here, I've still got his hip framed pretty good right here. Now from here, Ramonte is going to go, oh, I'm going to jump to the mount. And that's fine. And he does jump to the mount. But if you notice, the position of my back is not flat on the ground, which makes it incredibly easy to go ahead and start hooking up into a half guard. You notice that I've got half guard, not necessarily the angle of my hips that I want just yet, but I've got half guard and I've got an underhook. From here, what was framing his hip, posts on the hip, and turns back. Now I've found my way back into full guard. You can go into your half guard, whatever you want to do, but it's a very minimal effort required technique to get back to guard position. Ramonte's in side control. I'm sitting here fighting it. I can't get under there. He's even pushing my hips away. I shrimp toward him. And as I do that, Ramonte's going to jump to mount. No problem. Posting directly over. Notice I'm using my elbow to feed that leg down there. Posting. I've got the underhook. This arm that was framing becomes a post. Sitting up toward him. Coming back into full guard. I'm in side control. I'm trying to get out of here. I'm having no luck with it. I turn and either push my butt toward him. The key here is not being flat on your back. If you're flat and you're doing this and he jumps to mount, well, by the time you ever start to get over on your side, he'll grapevine, he'll Superman, he'll do any number of things. That's not the idea. The idea here is that my hips are completely pointed away from him, but I've still got a frame. Okay? So now when he jumps over, my hips are already at the right angle to catch the foot and go here. Now I start working under, posting, and getting into full guard scenario. Low effort way to get from your opponent's side control back into your half guard, though you do have to sacrifice the mount, so be aware of that if you're ever having to use it in any kind of tournament situation.